Hello guys, welcome to my channel Fundamentals of Engineering. In today's session we are going to see another surface treatment process, that is chemical vapor deposition. Chemical vapor deposition, also it is termed as CVD, is a process whereby a solid material is deposited from a vapor by a chemical reaction occurring on or in the vicinity of a normally heated substrate surface. The solid material is obtained as a coating, a powder or a single crystals. By varying the experimental conditions, substrate material, substrate temperature, composition of the reaction gas mixture, total pressure gas flows, etc., materials with different properties can be grown. So CVD is an example of solid vapor reaction. CVD involves the dissociation and or chemical reaction of gaseous reactant in an activated like heat, light, plasma environment, followed by the formation of stable solid product. So what is the history? You can see the formation of soot due to incomplete oxidation of firewood since prehistoric times is probably the oldest example of deposition using CVD. So CVD is a vacuum deposition method used to produce high quality, high performance solid materials. The process is often used in the semiconductor industry to produce thin films. A typical CVD, the vapor substrate is exposed to one or more volatile precursors which react and or decompose on the substrate surface to produce the desired deposit. Frequently, volatile byproducts are also produced which are removed by the gas flow through the reaction chamber. So that is the history of CVD process. Now what is the mechanism? You can see in the diagram, first we have to transport of the reactants by forced convection to the deposition region. This main gas will flow and the gas phase reaction will be takes place. The transport of reactants by diffusion from the main gas stream to the substrate surface, that is the second position will be takes place. Then in the third, absorption of reactants in the substrate, that is the vapor surface, that absorption of a film precursors will be takes place on the surface, that is the third. Then the chemical decomposition and other surface reaction will takes place. At the surface the diffusion will be takes place and there the chemical decomposition and whatever the other surface reaction will be takes place. Then the transport of a byproduct by a forced convection away from the deposition region. So whatever the byproducts are there, that we have to move outward. Then we have to transport that byproducts by the diffusion. So the dissorption of volatile surface reaction products, whatever the byproducts are there, by using that diffusion we have to transport back. Then desorption of a byproducts from the surface. Then we'll get the nucleation and iceland growth at the surface. So in this way we are going to use that CVD mechanism. So for that we require different equipment for this. This is the equipment prototype or equipment. All the equipments are kept in one line. So how it works? One by one we are going to see. First one is a gas supply cabinet, or it can be a chemical vapor precursor supply system. What is that role? Is to generate vapor precursors and then deliver to the reactor. The design of the CVD reactor depends on whether the starting material is solid, liquid or gas. The sublimation of a solid precursor depends on surface area of the solid and contact time. Liquid sources often use a bubbler to vaporize the reactants and a carrier gas reactive such like H2 and inert gas such like argon to transport the vaporized reactants into the reactor. Next equipment is a CVD reactor. There we are using two types of reactor. One is a hot walled reactor, or we can use cold walled reactor. What is the hot walled reactor? In this, the substrate or wafer and the wall of the reactor are heated. That is, the homogeneous temperature is maintained inside the reaction chamber in a hot walled reactor. So what is that disadvantage? Here the contamination will be takes place. So that is the main disadvantages of hot walled reactor. Also we can use cold walled reactor. This reactor uses heating system that minimizes the heating up to the reactor walls while the vapor is being heated up. The temperature is not homogeneous inside the reaction chamber. So it is having one disadvantage of cold walled reactor, that it is difficult to get uniform layer of the film. So we can use based on the operations or based on the quality of the surface, whatever the substrate we are depositing or coating on the surface. Based on that we can use hot walled reactor or cold walled reactor. Then next is efficient gas handling system. This component consists of neutralizing the part of the exhaust gases and a vacuum system to provide the required reduced temperature for the CVD process that performs at low pressure or at a high vacuum during deposition. The unreacted precursors and the corrosive byproducts such as HCl are neutralized or trapped using liquid nitrogen gas. The inflammable gases such as hydrogen are burned off. Unreacted expensive precursors may be collected at the outlet and recycled. So these are the equipment. In a typical CVD process, we are using the substrate which is exposed to one or more volatile precursors which react and decompose on the substrate surface to produce the desired deposit. During this process, the volatile byproducts are produced which are removed by the gas flow through the reaction chamber. Whatever the gas flow to the reaction chamber, we can remove that byproducts. So these are the equipments we are using in a CVD process. Next one, there are different types that can be used for the decomposition of material. So these are classified first based on the operating pressure, that is atmospheric pressure CVD and low pressure CVD. So based on the operating pressure, these are the two types, atmospheric pressure CVD and low pressure CVD. Then plasma enhanced CVD, photochemical vapor deposition and thermal CVD. So these are the types of CVD. One by one we are going to see how they are operate, what is the conditions to use that types of CVD that we are going to see. So first one we are going to see the atmospheric pressure chemical vapor deposition. It works at atmospheric pressure. It used to deposit a layer of material, typically several micrometers thick, onto a vapor or other type of substrate. It is also used as a surface finishing process for items such as tools and turbine blades to improve the lifetime and performance. Since a vacuum system is not required, these atmospheric pressure CVD systems have a relatively low operating cost. It is having inherently poor utilization. So we can use this atmospheric pressure chemical vapor deposition at two cases. At high temperature, this process used to deposit silicon and compound films or hard metallurgical coatings like titanium carbide and titanium nitride, and we can use at the low temperature where many insulating films layers such as silicon dioxide needs to be deposited at low temperatures for effective deposition. So this atmospheric chemical vapor deposition is extremely susceptible to oxidation due to the greater gas density and residence times. So it is having some limitation that thick films, you can see here, the thick films uniformity cannot be maintained. So you can see the vapors which are transferred from the conveyor blade. At that time we are producing the nitrogen gases and process gas. There we are exhausting whatever the atmospheric pressure, and there we can get the deposition at high temperature or low temperature. So large number of pinhole defects can occur in this process. The vapor throughout is low due to low deposition rate. The deposits get contaminated very easily since it takes place at atmospheric pressure. Maintaining stoichiometry is extremely difficult. So these are the some limitation of atmospheric pressure CVD. Now we are going to see the low pressure CVD. So based on the operating pressure or operating temperature, we are having two types, atmospheric pressure and low pressure. So next, low pressure. In this, coatings exhibit excellent uniformity, high purity and good step coverage. So deposition of silicon carbide thin films is performed using low pressure CVD of dischlorylene, acetylene or hydrogen reaction system. The silicon carbide films deposited at 3 different temperatures has 3 different properties. At 1023 Kelvin it is having amorphous, 1073 it is having microcrystalline, 1173 it is having perfect preferentially oriented. So here it works at a sub-atmospheric pressures. Reduced pressures tend to reduce unwanted gas phase reactions and improve film uniformity across the vapor. So we can see the pressure sensors. Based on that, the reaction heater which contains the 3 zones, so it works on the sub-atmospheric pressure. The low pressure increases the precursor's diffusion through the gas and the mass transfer rate of the gaseous reactants becomes higher than the surface reaction rate. The pressure of a low pressure chemical vapor deposition is usually around 10 to 1000 Pascal, while the standard atmospheric pressure is 101,325 Pascal. So this is the low pressure CVD. So for the operating pressure, two types, atmospheric pressure and low pressure that we have seen. Now guys, we are going to see the second type of CVD, that is plasma enhanced CVD. Plasma enhanced CVD is used to deposit silicon dioxide and amorphous silicon films, where the process is to deposit thin films from the gas state, that is vapor, to the solid state on the substrate. So this is the process how we are doing. Plasma can be used to decompose a molecule that will not be decomposed at a reasonable relevant temperature. It can be used to decompose a thermally unstable molecule but at much lower temperature. So for that we are using electrode which can be heated, and the gas inlet is given. And there in plasma CVD, substrate that cannot be tolerate high temperatures such as polymers can be used, where substrate temperature range from 100 to 500 degrees Celsius. In this way we are using this plasma enhanced CVD. We are using two types of reactors in plasma enhanced CVD. One is Reinberg type reactor, that is direct type, where the reactants, byproduct, substrate and plasma are in a same space. Capacitive coupled radio frequency plasma can be get, and rotating substrates are present. So rotating substrates are present in this Reinberg type reactor. Then Second reactor is a downstream reactor, which is an indirect type, where the plasma is generated in a separate chamber and it is pumped into the deposition chamber. It allows better control of purity and film's quality when compared to the direct type. So these are the two types of reactors we are using in plasma enhanced CVD. Then third type is a photochemical vapor deposition. A photochemical vapor deposition method comprises introducing a starting gas into a reaction chamber, irradiating the starting gas with a light energy and forming a deposition film on a substrate by utilizing photochemical reaction characterized in that the plural starting gases are introduced into the reaction. So this is the process how it takes. In this, what we are getting, the chamber and thin films are formed on a solid state substrate by causing chemical reaction by irradiating molecules in these starting gases with individual light energy having wavelength region corresponding to an absorption spectrum of each said starting gas. A photochemical vapor deposition method comprises including gas into the reaction chamber where light energy having a wavelength region corresponding to the absorption spectrum. There we are getting the UV light, ultraviolet light. Based on that, UV radiation will be takes place and it will be deposited on the substrate. So the uniform deposition will be takes place based on the quartz window. So there we can get the continuous deposition on the substrate by using this photochemical vapor deposition, where we are using the ultraviolet light to generate the ultraviolet radiation on the substrate. Then last one is a thermal chemical vapor deposition. In thermal CVD process, temperatures are as high as 200 degrees Celsius and it needed to deposit the compounds. This a chemical process for depositing thin films of various materials, heating only the substrate rather than the gas or chamber walls helps to reduce unwanted gas phase reactions that can lead to particle formation. So here whatever the temperature which is generated, that is 2000 degrees Celsius, it is used to deposit on the compounds. So there are two basic types of reactors can be used, hot wall reactor and cold wall reactor that we have seen. Similarly, the APCVD, that is atmospheric pressure CVD. So this is the mechanism how we are getting the thermal chemical vapor deposition. Here we are using two types of reactors like hot wall reactor and cold wall reactor. A hot wall reactor is an isothermal surface into which the substrates are placed. Since the whole chamber is heated, precise temperature cannot be achieved by designing the furnace accordingly. So whatever the furnace we have to design so that the uniform temperature can be controlled. It is having a disadvantage that the deposition occurs on the walls of the chamber as well as on the substrate. So whatever the chamber is there also the deposition will be take place. As a consequence, hot wall reactors must be frequently cleaned in order to reduce the contamination of the substrate. Here, due to high temperature, the contamination will be takes place. So to reduce that, we have to frequently clean that reactor. Second, in a cold wall reactor, only the substrate is heated. So whatever the substrate with a catalyst is heated, the deposition takes place on the area of the highest temperature. Since CVD reactions are generally endothermic, so here whatever the deposition of the material will take place where there is a higher temperature. The deposition is only on the substrate in cold wall reactors, and therefore contamination of particles is reduced considerably. In hot wall reactor, the contamination will be takes place. We have to frequently clean that reactor, but here only the substrate is heated, so there is a less possibility that contamination. However, hot wall reactors have higher throughput since the designs can easily accommodate multiple vapors or substrate configuration. So these are the thermal chemical vapor deposition. Now, where we are using this chemical vapor deposition method? Where is the applications? It is having a wide range of applications such as coatings for variety of applications like wear resistance, corrosion resistance, high temperature protection, erosion protection, and combination of thereof. Then we can use in a semiconductor devices, integrated circuits, sensors, optoelectronic devices. Then we can use for the dense structural parts where it is produced the components that are difficult or uneconomical to produce using conventional fabrication techniques. There we can use this chemical vapor deposition process. Dense parts produced via CVD are generally thin walled and may be deposited onto a mandrel or former. Then we can use in the optical fibers for the telecommunication purpose. We can use this chemical vapor depositions for the composites, which can be performed infiltrated using CVD techniques to produce ceramic matrix composites such as carbon to carbon, carbon silicon carbide, and silicon carbide combinations composites. This process is sometimes called as a chemical vapor infiltration or CVI. Then we can use in a catalyst. Then we can use it in the powder production for the novel powders and fibers. Also we can use in a nanomachine. So there is a wide range of applications of CVD. So there are some advantages of CVD. What are that? The variable shaped surfaces given reasonable access to the coating powders or gases such as screw threads, blind holes or channels or races can be coated evenly throughout built up on edges. Then another advantage is that it is versatile, that any element or compound can be deposited. It is having a high purity can be obtained. Then high density, nearly 100% of theoretical value can be obtained in a chemical vapor deposition. Then material formation will be below the melting point. Then economical in production since many parts can be coated at some time. So these are the advantages. Also it is having some disadvantages. What is that? The chemical and safety hazards caused by the use of toxic, corrosive, flammable or explosive precursors. Therefore extra steps have to be taken in the handling of the precursors in the treatment of the reactor exhaust. Then the high deposition temperatures, like often greater than 600 degrees Celsius, can be used are often unsuitable for the structures already fabricated or substrate, because whatever the structures are having, they having the different melting points. So based on that melting points we have to use reactors so that it will be giving the good quality. Then reactions on the kind of substrate can be coated or restriction can be get. Then it leads to stresses in films deposited on the materials with a different thermal expansion coefficient. Due to the different thermal coefficient, expansion coefficient, it is possible that the stresses, relay stresses or induced stresses will be generated, so which can be cause mechanical instability in the deposited films. So these are the disadvantages. So in this session we have seen another surface treatment process, that is in the vapor deposition, chemical vapor deposition that we have seen. If you like it, please stay connected and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Click on bell icon to get more notification. Thank you very much.